Climb to blow someone's mind. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Today is day 1469 of documenting the journey as I transition and share different business information, different business lessons learned from the offline and the online world over the last 1,400 plus days. I have just hopped on and documented my journey. It originally started out to be my journey of online business and online business creation. And then COVID hit and blew everything up for everybody, me included. And I decided, hey, I'm going to do both offline and online businesses. So I talk about both. And, you know, of my almost 49 years building businesses, the majority of that has been in the offline world. From, you know, I started my first business when I was 13 and was involved in at least 27 different industries and businesses as a principal or the sole owner, or, you know, the majority owner or partner in a lot of different industries and businesses, while simultaneously working in corporate America for over a quarter century of that. So 25 years plus of corporate experience in mostly big businesses. If I think about it, they were all back then 100 million plus and billion-dollar companies, and that was a big deal back when I was in corporate America. But since 2004, I have solely run my own businesses, some with my ex-husband, some without, and some with other partners, some without, and learned a lot along the way. Made, oh my gosh, like every mistake you can imagine just about possible, I think that I've made in both the offline and the online world. Now, you'd think I would have learned all of the mistakes I made in the offline world, but in the online world, there's a whole new set of mistakes. There's a whole new set of things that you can learn from. I say lessons learned, not mistakes and mess ups, but they are. I mean, if I had it to do over again, I probably would have not done those things, but those are the things that catapult us into the direction we want to go. Is the things that we do wrong, we learn a lot more for. The mistakes we make, the things we wish we had done better, those are the things we learn from. Our successes, they're nice, but they're really fleeting. You know, have you ever set a goal and worked, achieved that goal, all of a sudden, so you've lost 25 pounds, you lose 25 pounds, you step on the scale, you try on the outfit, you look great, and then you're like, all that work for an instant of feeling better. And then you're on to the next thing, the next goal, the next objective. That's how we are as human beings. We're always striving for something better, which has to do with our topic, climb, today. For this year's annual challenge is to be you, do one thing every day that improves us, you, me, everybody. Because if we improve and set a better example for the world, it sets a better example for the world, and other people improve as well. It gives them permission to be more of who they are really meant to be. So that's our annual challenge this year. And today we're talking about emotional guidance system and how we're always reaching for a better feeling. We're climbing up the emotional scale, or the emotional guidance system, or the whatever you call it, to always feel better, right? So if I'm feeling negative in any way, I'm always saying, okay, well, how can I flip this and make myself feel better? So we're going to talk about flip switch. I don't know if we talked about it last month or not. I'm going to have to look, but we're going to talk about how we can always take, and how I do this scale now is, I used to have to climb up one emotion at a time, one level at a time. And now I've learned that through practice, a lot of the time I can go from the downward spiral side of the scale to the upward side by just reaching for something I appreciate or love about what situation I'm going through. And I don't have to love the whole thing. I don't have to love that I'm going through it, but I can find things to appreciate in it, and it immediately sends me into better feelings and helps me climb the positive scale versus downward spiraling, if that makes sense. And if you're curious about that, you can join us for this year's annual challenge. You can start anytime. You don't have to start. We started this one on the first of the year, but I'm putting it in the Get Up and Go free Facebook private page under Guide 15. I wonder how long it's going to take me to say guide instead of unit. It's like when you start a new year and you always mistake when you're writing checks and things with last year's year. That's how I feel about the guides versus units when things change. So guides under that group, Guide 15, has got all of the previous challenges in there, each day's challenge. And we just do one little thing a day to improve us. So today, for example, we're just going to notice when we feel something negative, because I don't know about you, but every day I feel positive and negative things. When I notice consciously that I'm feeling something negative, the first thing I want to do is reach for a better feeling thought. So we're going to notice today when we feel something negative, and then we're going to reach for a better feeling thought, and then see how many things we have to do or reach for before we actually noticeably feel better. Sometimes just one step up the ladder makes us breathe and feel better. Sometimes it takes, several different steps up the ladder to feel better. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I guess I could quick show a picture of, and you can, emotional guidance system, you can just Google that, Google or Bing or whatever search engine you use, DuckDuckGo, and say emotional guidance system. I like the images. I used to use just the written scale, the names of things. And then I found out about this downward spiral, upward spiral thing, which I can relate to because I learned about a similar thing in a training called Value the Person literally decades ago, probably 2 or more decades ago. And so I can relate to this downward spiral, upward spiral with emotions as with other things as well. It works, applies for relationships, applies to our physical health. It actually applies to everything, which is why I can relate to it. It was a thing that I remembered from that training. And you do a lot of trainings and a lot of things throughout your life. And it's really interesting when you remember something from school or you remember something that your grandma taught you, and that is something that obviously stuck and made an impact on you. So that's why I like this. But you can just go online, you can find a graphic representation of it, and super powerful tool. I'd say one of the most valuable, powerful tools that you can use. And I say that about several because the ones I use and talk about are the ones that have made a huge transformational impact and positive impact on my life. So those are the ones I want to share with other people as well. My granddaughter, my second granddaughter's first birthday today. So we're having a party for her at my sister's house. My sister is being awesome and hosting that for us. So we're going to go to her house and have a fun duck party. I might have overdone it a little bit with the ducks. I got 100 rubber ducks that I thought would be fun. And now there's some more kids coming, so that'll be exciting. Even in these days of COVID, small groups of us can still get together and have fun and celebrate milestones in people's life. Like my granddaughters always love to celebrate their milestones. So if I can help you in any way, hit me up. Otherwise, I'm going to be partying with the duckies, and I will be with you tomorrow.